What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first ever Ohio Christian University Virtual Preview Day. My name is Tim Keep. I'm going to be your host today, and I'm also an admissions counselor here at OCU. So we have a lot of fun things planned for you guys today. You're going to hear from the president. You're going to get a chance to ask questions to a panel of our faculty and staff. But first, before we get to all that, I want to explain how you guys can win prizes. We have a lot of giveaways that we're doing today, and I want to kind of explain that. So, obviously, you guys aren't here in person. We love interacting with you guys in person, but we can't do that right now. So the best way that we can interact with you is in the comments. I have the comments up right here. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what you guys have to say. We're going to have Terrell, who is going to be asking questions throughout the day. He's going to be throwing questions in there. And if you interact the most, we're going to be giving out a lot of prizes. We have boxes with like T-shirts and cups and all kinds of stuff like that. And then at the end of the day, we're going to pick someone who had the most interaction, and we're going to be giving them a OCU hoodie, and just some other good stuff like that. So right now, before we move forward, before we hear from the president, before we do all that kind of stuff, I want to invite Terrell Sergeant Samuels up here. He's going to talk about what he does and kind of his job here at OCU. But before we get there, I want to shout out real quick, Destiny, welcome. Ashley, welcome. Victoria Zelinka, welcome. We're so happy to have you guys here today. Princess, she says she's going to be coming here soon. This is her first time, so welcome. And we're really excited to have you guys. But here's Terrell.
Hi, everybody. My name is Terrell. I am the admissions counselor for Southern Ohio and majority of the southern states. Like Tim said, I'm going to be the person interacting with you through the live chat. So I can't wait to meet a lot of you guys.
All right, thank you, Terrell. Yeah, so he's going to be asking questions like, where are you from, or what grade are you in, different things like that. We want to know about you guys. We want to interact with you guys. He is an admissions counselor that a lot of you guys will be working with. If you guys are in some of those southern states, you're going to be working directly with Terrell. If you guys are up like in the Cleveland area or somewhere like that, you're going to be working with me. A lot of you guys probably have already heard from me, gotten some info about me. And next, if you guys are a transfer, or if you have any transferring credits like that, a lot of you guys are going to be working with Abby Ailes. She's coming up right now to kind of introduce herself and talk about what she's doing here.
Hi guys, good morning. My name is Abby, and I am the transfer counselor here at Ohio Christian. I also work with students that are doing international as well as our Online Plus program. So feel free to let us know if you have any questions, and I would be happy to help you get started. Thanks, Tim.
All right, thank you. Also, what she did not mention is we have a transfer week coming up here soon. So if you're a transfer and you want to get lots of information about what we're doing and how to get that here, we have a transfer week coming up. It's going to be a whole week full of videos. You're going to hear a lot more from Abby. She's made a lot of videos, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So real quick, I want to shout out a couple more people on here. So keep commenting in the chats. Come on, keep it going. I want to say hey to Blake. Welcome. I want to say hey to Olivia and to Callie and Laura. We're so happy that you guys are here today. This is a lot of fun. This is the first time we've done something like this, so I think this is going to be a really awesome day. So next, we have a video that's going to be playing here very shortly, and we have a full day planned for you guys. But when I come back after this video, we're going to have some other stuff for you, but when I come back, I'm going to be giving out a bunch of names to win these box prizes that we have. So stay tuned and check out this video.
good morning. Let me introduce myself. I'm John Kalaga. I'm the president at Ohio Christian University. I want to thank you for joining us virtually. Let's just start off right now by acknowledging that this is a different time. This spring, graduation commencements were canceled. We were quarantined. We were locked down. Many of us had friends, family members who contracted the COVID virus. Some of us may have had family or friends who passed away because of that. On top of that, we've moved into a summer of unrest because of that was triggered mainly by the killing and the murder of George Floyd. And so we moved from a different kind of March and April and May into a unexpected and different kind of May and June and July. And so this is a kind of a different time. It's a very interesting time for you to be graduating from high school. If you're a senior, if you're a rising senior, you still have another year to go. But as president of Ohio Christian University, I wanted to talk with particularly those who are seniors and their parents, and you are trying to figure out college. What should college look like? What college should you go to? And so I want to answer this question. I've got 6 things, so if you have a piece of paper, you can write them down. I've got 6 things that I want to kind of answer, and if you're asking, okay, so what should college do for me? And I want to kind of put out a spoiler alert right off the bat and tell you that I'm not going to talk specifically about a job. I'm not going to talk about a job, although that's important. I have a son. Our youngest is going to be a senior at Ohio Christian this year, and as his mom and dad, we're very concerned about him getting a job in the next, in about 9 months or so. So it's not that the economy's not important. It's not that you shouldn't be thinking about a job. I'm just thinking that when you think about what college should do for you over a period of 4 years, what are the top things? And then specifically because Ohio Christian, we have Christian in the middle of our name, I'm going to be coming at this from a Christian perspective. So I just want to share with you what I think are the top 6 things. And every school has a big idea. Every school has a story. But Christian universities, what I would put out to you to think about is that they have a bigger idea. They have a bigger story. And so that's kind of what I would like you to be thinking about. But number 1, the first thing that any college should do for you is that it should enter you, it should bring you, it should welcome you into a long conversation. There is a lot of people, men and women, who down through centuries have been thinking about life and been thinking about how to live a fully formed, fully human life, how to flourish as a human being. And so a college should welcome you into that conversation. It's been going on for centuries, but you should be able to talk with Socrates and Plato and Augustine and Dorothy Sayers and T.S. Eliot and Aquinas and even C.S. Lewis. And C.S. Lewis has a quote where he talks about, it's really important that you read old books. And you should be reading at least, he says, if you can't read one old book for at least one new book, you should at least read one old book for 3 new books. And that's because new books haven't had the time to find out if they're a fad. New books haven't had a chance to find out if what they're saying is actually true or if it's just a short little trend. But old books have been around for a while, and they've stood the test of time. And you get to really enter into that long conversation that's been going on. And our professors will welcome you as you bring your voice, as you bring your opinion, but you're bringing it into a context of a conversation that's been going on for a long time. And of course, 2 names that I've just mentioned, we'd also add the name of Jesus Christ, and we'd add the names of Jeremiah and Isaiah and Moses and things like that. So people like that. So number 1 is that you're going to be, a good college will bring you and enter you into a long conversation. Number 2 is a good college will help you understand and experience and have knowledge of a moral system. a moral environment. There is a hierarchy of values in the world, and certainly as you read Scripture, Jesus identified two of them. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. And he said this summed up actually the entire law. And if you've read the entire law that Israel had at that time, that's a lot of reading to sum up in two very short sentences. But there's a hierarchy of value. There's a moral environment, personal and societal, for humans and for communities to flourish. All the way from the Greeks back to the Hebrews and into the Christian tradition. Things like values like humility and sacrifice and grace and reason and surrender and courage. But all these values need something higher in order for them to actually be called out of you. Why should you be brave? Why should you show courage? Why should you forgive? Why should you be a gracious person? If this life is all there is and what you see is all there is, why would anybody be altruistic? Why would anybody love their neighbor as themselves? And so you have to be introduced to and have knowledge of a moral system that's out there. And we would introduce you to the Christian system. And I don't want to leave it as moral, but every college you're going to be thinking about the moral environment that you're going to be living and learning in, and that you're going to be drinking from that environment, and you need to think about that. Number 3 is the ability to have better vision. A college should help you have better vision, help you to see better. It should give you a lens through which to view the world that's accurate. You've heard the term perhaps before, worldview. And what that means is it's how you view the world. And a Christian worldview helps you see the world through a set of lenses, Scripture, that don't mean you have to adjust it every 3 or 4 years to go with what's new and what's hot and what's faddish and what's trending. Because the Christian worldview, we believe in truth, and we believe that these are things that are actually the way they are. And every worldview tries to answer 4 basic questions. There may be 5 or 6 basic questions, but 4 basic questions that every worldview, every lens through which you view the world helps you answer is how did I get here? What's gone wrong? Because if you look around, things have gone wrong. How do we fix it individually, in myself, and in society? And then where do I go when I die? Those 4 questions, almost every, if not every worldview has an answer for those questions. And if you come to a college, they will try to give you a lens to see the world and view the world and answer those 4 questions. And if you come to Ohio Christian University, we will go to Scripture and we'll talk about how did we get here, creation from a loving God, what's gone wrong, sin, how do we fix it individually, salvation, societal, in terms of forgiveness and grace and reconciliation, and then where do I go when I die? The answer of ultimate importance, and that is where will you spend eternity? We have answers for that, and we'll give you the ability to see better. Number 4 is that should help you develop, a good college will help you develop intellectual courage. In other words, it'll help you think for yourself, but it'll give you the tools with which to do that. It'll help you think for yourself. It'll help you find your voice. No one actually ultimately thinks for themselves. I mean, you drink from the water of different ponds. You read different authors. You have professors that influence your life. You have mentors. And so, but you just start to develop the courage to develop your own convictions, not the convictions that have just merely been passed on. When you were in 3rd grade and your mom and dad may have taken you to Sunday school, they didn't force you, but they kind of did. It wasn't like a vote. But as you get older, you have to figure out, is my faith going to be my own? What do I believe? And what do I think about things? And so a good school and good college will help you develop the courage to think about that. And at Ohio Christian University, because we believe that some things are just simply true, because they're true, like 2 plus 2 is 4, and if you say 5, you're not close, you're wrong. 2 plus 2 is 4. The law of gravity just is. And it only takes a walk off a 4-story building to find out that it is true. And no matter what you believe about the law of gravity, it's true. And we believe that we were created by a loving God. We believe in God. We believe in a creator. There are some things that are just true, and that helps us then develop the intellectual courage to speak into the culture, regardless if that truth is popular or not. I'd say the fifth thing that we help you do at OCU is deepen and strengthen your emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence, we all have emotions. We're born with emotions. But our emotions have to be refined so that we get disgusted at things that we should be disgusted at, like racism and injustice. That we are reverent at the things that deserve our reverence. And while the Grand Canyon might deserve our reverence, God certainly deserves it more. And we need to be developing patience when we're wrong or long-suffering. But we're all born with these emotions. The trick or the goal, especially through your college years, is to educate and to move into emotional intelligence so that you have a correct response to the right things and not an incorrect response to the wrong things. So that you love what Jesus loves and you hate what Jesus hates, and you get angry at the things that make Jesus angry, and you're joyful over the things that make Jesus joyful, that bring him joy. So emotional intelligence. The sixth thing is that a good college will provide you with a vision for a higher loves. You know, when you meet someone for the first time and you're attracted to them, and maybe ultimately you're going to get married, but there's that first attraction is usually physical. And then you move to a higher love, which is their personality. And then you start loving their heart. But then as you move on to outside that person, you start having a higher vision for what society could be, a higher vision than just beyond that particular person. So you have a vision for a higher level of what society and community could look like. And then you move that higher to a truth and wisdom and what ultimately are the best things that you should love. And then, of course, you move to God, which is the person who created all of this and who said, I am the truth. So a good college, a good university will point you to higher loves. I just want to close with this, and that is, like I said before, every college has a story, but at OCU we want to point you to a bigger story, because each one of you have your own story, but it's a chapter in the life of your whole journey in which God is the author. David Foster Wallace was an author, and he wrote this: in the day-to-day trenches of adult life, there is actually no such thing as atheism. There's no such thing as a person who's not worshiping. Everybody worships. The only choice we get is what to worship. An outstanding reason for choosing God is that pretty much anything else you worship will eat you alive. If you worship money and things, if they are where you tap into real meaning in life, then you will never have enough. You will never feel you have enough. It's the truth. You worship your own body and beauty, and you will always feel ugly. And when time and age start showing, you'll die 1,000,000 deaths before they finally plant you in the ground. Worship power, and you will feel weak and afraid, and you will need ever more power over things to keep that fear at bay. Worship your intellect, being seen as being smart, and you will end up feeling stupid, a fraud, and you will always be on the verge of being found out. But ultimate joy is found not in satisfying your desires, but in changing your desires to have best desires, trading in the good for the better and trading in the better for the best. The educated life is a journey toward higher and higher loves. If you come to OCU, there are 3 things that we want to do. We want to fill your head, we want to train your heart, and then we want to train your hands, we want to direct your heart. We want to fill your head, we want to train your hands to do good work, but then we also want to direct the heart. And when you leave, you will leave probably with a sense of divine discontentment, because you will see the world for as it is, and you'll see that it's not perfect, and you'll see a lot of things that are broken, and you'll see that the things that you may have been living for were okay, but they weren't really ultimately the best things. And that's okay. I think as Christians, this world is not our home, and it's okay to pass through this life with our eyes fixed on a higher love, living life with a sense of divine discontentment. But I think those 6 things, if you take a look at what college, what university you're thinking about attending, and you put those 6 things in front of you and say, okay, what school will provide me this? I think you'll end up choosing Ohio Christian University, and we would be thrilled to welcome you. We're going to transition now into a video that's going to talk about the top 5 reasons students like you have chosen Ohio Christian University. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to Ohio Christian University. I'm going to be taking you through the top 5 reasons that students choose to come to OCU. The number 5 reasons students choose to come to OCU is for financial aid. 94% of our students receive financial aid. We have work-study programs, grants, and federal loans, monthly payment plans, and also athletic, academic, and endowment scholarships that students can take advantage of. We also have Payback Promise, which is a loan repayment assistant program that helps students pay back their loans after college if they make under $45,000 after graduating from Ohio Christian University. For more information about financial aid, feel free to schedule a virtual meeting with them on our website under virtual meetings. The number 4 reason that students choose Ohio Christian University is for athletics. We have 18 different sports teams that are part of the NAIA in the River States Conference. If athletics is something that you're interested in taking a part in at Ohio Christian, go to our athletic website to the drop-down tab called Recruits, fill out the athletic recruiting profile that will be sent to our head coaches, and see what opportunities lie ahead. The number 3 reason that students choose to come to Ohio Christian is because of our student life. We have a bunch of different opportunities that students can take a part in as a trailblazer. One of those organizations is our Student Involvement Council, which we call SICK for short. They're in charge of organizing and planning most of our events that happen on campus, including our Torch Run, Alpha Week, and our Mr. and Miss Banquet that takes place in the spring semester. Along with those events, we also have our hub, which is our game room on campus that has 4 plasma screens along with different gaming consoles that you can play in there with your friends or guests that you may bring onto campus, along with other board games and card games that you're allowed to play in there as well. We also have a bunch of different intramural sports opportunities including basketball, ultimate frisbee, volleyball, and much more. I can definitely say that our students feel at home and feel like they're a part of a community as soon as they step foot on our campus, which is why student life is number 3 on our list of why students choose to come to OCU. On to the next. Our number 2 reason that students choose to come to Ohio Christian University is academics. Ohio Christian University is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission and the Teacher Education Accreditation Council. Our student-to-faculty ratio is 11-to-1, which is super beneficial to our students because the professors will know you on a personal basis. They'll know your name, where you're from, what your background is, and how you best learn in the classroom, which helps you not only succeed in the class, but after you graduate as well. Not only does our faculty have a degree in what they're teaching, but also they have success in their field, which helps you find internships and job opportunities while you're in school and also after you graduate. Our professors truly care about you as a person, and you're not just a number when you come to OCU. The last reason that we're going to cover today is definitely not the least. Our number 1 reason that students choose to come to OCU is our spiritual emphasis. During the week, we have 2 chapel services at 10 a.m. on Monday and Wednesday. We also have a revival service once a semester that runs for 3 days. But it doesn't stop at chapel services. There are 2 days of the year where we shut down our campus, there's no classes, and everyone joins a team, goes out into the community, and serve those in need. You can also join one of our mission trips, one of our small groups on campus, the music ministry team, the drama team, or one of our camp teams. All of these are different ministry opportunities that you can be a part of here at Ohio Christian University. But spiritual emphasis doesn't stop at chapel services, volunteer opportunities, or ministry opportunities. All of our classes are taught with a Christian worldview, which prepares students to serve effectively in the church and society. If Ohio Christian University seems like the place for you, feel free to visit our website, look into some of our virtual tours and virtual meetings, and see what the next step would be for you to be a trailblazer. Hi.
All right, welcome back, guys. We're so glad that you guys have joined us again today. Like I said in the beginning, we are doing giveaways today based on your interactions in the comments. I've been in the comments, and I see a lot of you guys commenting. Thank you guys so much for being so interactive. This is a lot of fun. But right now, I'm going to do a few giveaways. We have boxes with water bottles and T-shirts and just a bunch of different stuff like that. And I wrote down a few names that I saw commenting a lot. And so the first prize is going to go to Princess Thompson. So congratulations, Princess. And then Olivia Krosno, congratulations as well. She said that she met me at a college fair, so that's exciting. And then Victoria Zelinka, we know she's coming here, and we're really excited to have you here. Welcome, and congratulations on your prize. And then Laura Moon is next. And then last we have, I think it's Destiny. So go ahead and comment your full name, Destiny, and we'll make sure that we get that prize to you. But right now, we're going to be doing a Q&A with this panel behind me. These are staff and faculty here at OCU. They have a lot of awesome information. And we have some questions written up that we're going to ask them, but we want you guys to ask questions. So make sure that you guys just flood the comments there with questions that you have, and if we can answer them real quick in the comments, we will. But if it's something that a lot of you guys are asking, and we think one of them can answer better than us, which they probably can, then we'll have them answer one of those questions. So make sure that you flood the comments with your questions, and then I'm going to let them introduce themselves, starting over here with Casey.
Hi, I'm Casey Coons. I'm the head men's basketball coach here at OCU.
My name is Kevin Benny. I'm the Director of Spiritual Formation and Student Life.
My name is Lauren Ray, and I'm Assistant Director of Student Life.
My name is Dr. Sylvia McDonald, and I am actually a professor of psychology here at OCU.
My name is Eric Fair. I'm the Director for Student Engagement.
All right, so we have our first question here today is, what is your favorite thing about OCU? This is kind of up in the air for anyone to answer. What's something that you guys really enjoy about OCU?
If I can. I think my favorite thing is just our small campus and the people. Being a small campus and everything that kind of goes with being a small campus. You get to know everyone really, really well, and I think that my favorite thing is just that we have some pretty amazing people, and it really feels like a family here.
One of my favorite things about OCU is watching the students grow. When they sit in classes and sit in chapel, when they attend events and do all kinds of things here in the community, they're challenged and stretched, and we really get to see them become an amazing person over the course of 2, 3, 4 years. It's really exciting.
My favorite thing, and there's just so many, but coming from a faculty standpoint and knowing all the faculty, I can say that our faculty love our students. They care about our students to a point where they carry such a heavy burden and constantly offering up students for prayer and really guiding them and mentoring them throughout their 4 years. And we know your name. We can go to you and say, hey, I noticed in class that you weren't as engaged as you normally are. Is everything okay? I think at a larger institution that's kind of lost. The connection that faculty have with students, I think, is something incredibly valuable that we offer here at OCU.
All right, so this question is going to go to student life. This has to do with student life here. So what events have been some of your favorites that have happened here at OCU?
As a student, a previous student, and now a staff member, one of my favorite things is FNL, which is Ohio Christian's version of Saturday Night Live. It's student-led, student-initiated comedy. It's super fun. It's during the fall semester and the spring. And another event that I really love is Movies on the Lawn. That also happens a couple times a year, and it's always new movies, and it's just super fun to just really spend time with students and staff members, even their families. It's really awesome, and I'm super excited for it.
All right, awesome. So the next question, this has to do with our spiritual formation. So people here know that we have chapel here on campus twice a week. So this question is, what do chapel services look like here at OCU?
Is that all right? All right. One of the most important things to know about chapel is that, and one of the most regular parts of chapel is our student-led worship teams. We have 2 worship teams that rotate on a regular basis, and we want to make sure that worshiping our amazing God is a part of as many of our services as possible. You'll probably notice if you ever come to visit a chapel service that it doesn't look maybe quite like you would expect if you attend a church service. While there is very similar components in chapel, we try to have people come and speak from every career demographic, denomination, ethnicity, all who love Jesus Christ and can challenge us and train us and teach us to integrate our faith, our education, and our everyday life. So really, our goal in chapel is a lot broader, but really the focus is still forming your spirit, spiritual formation. That is the goal of chapel. Also, we will have students, staff, and faculty on occasion each semester to on stage to share their testimony. What has Jesus done in their lives? And that's actually a very important and always well-loved part of our chapel services.
Awesome. This next question is about athletics. So how would you advise a prospective student athlete to go about being recruited during the process of this COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, I would say the most important thing is being proactive. Our coaching staffs during this pandemic and this crazy time are more limited than we have been in terms of what we can get out to, and also in terms of having our players, our student athletes on campus whenever you're able to come visit. A lot of that has been restricted. So the biggest thing is just being able to be proactive. Reach out to us through email. Send as much information as you can, whether it's film, your academic profile, all of that information. Just be proactive in contacting us. All of our coaches here on campus are great about being responsive in a timely manner. So please just don't hesitate to send your information in and be proactive on your end. With all of the craziness, with all this stuff, all of that helps.
Awesome. All right, our next question is actually from a student in the comments. McKenna, she asked, do we have tutoring for students who need it here on campus?
That one. We actually have an academic services department, and they offer tutoring. We also have a writing center. So the tutoring that we offer is we have peer tutors, so they're usually upperclassmen, juniors or seniors who have actually been through those exact classes, who the professor has recommended to the tutoring center, which we call the Bridge, which I love that name. It really does bridge the classroom to the student individually if there is a struggle with maybe connecting concepts. Maybe it's a completely new area for the student. So yes, we do offer tutoring. We also have study tables. So for my class specifically, I teach freshman classes. That's kind of where my heart is. I do teach some upper class courses, but I really like to work with freshmen. So for my classes specifically, we have study tables, and I'm a quizzer. I believe in quizzing. So right before quizzes each week, we will have a study table, and it's actually led by my TA. So he or she, depending on the year, that individual is incredibly familiar with my material. They sit in my classes, so they know each week what is said. I know for the tutor center for the Bridge, they ask their tutors to actually sit in the classes concurrently, even though they have already taken them, so they're aware of what the class is asking each week. And we also have what's called the math lab, and this math lab is specific for our math classes, because that's kind of a tough transition sometimes. There's a lot of online work, there's a lot of online homework, which you will find in higher education. The pace is much faster. So I think that's sometimes a tough transition for high school students to college. So we do offer very extensive services in the realm of tutoring for writing, for math, and for all of our classes here.
Awesome. All right. So what advice, this is kind of up in the air for all of you guys. You guys are all working with students coming in for their freshman year. So what advice do you have for students who are starting to plan for college? This could be anywhere from academics, like how do they plan for that? How do they plan to live in a dorm with someone else? Anything like that.
So as you're getting ready to come to college, you're actually getting ready to embark on the most important time, transformational time of your life. The 18 to 24 age range is really the time when you are going to be deciding the things that are important to you, the things that you are going to work towards the rest of your life. It's determining who you're going to be. So I think the most important thing that you can do is to really open up your heart and your mind to new opportunities, to new ways of thinking. And you can start that now. You can start getting involved in your local community. There's always opportunities in places where anyone lives to get involved with what community members are doing, whether that's a local organization, what your local church is doing, volunteering at the local animal shelter. There's so many different places that you can plug in to begin learning about what community really means. Because when college is done and you are off to engage in that job, the central most thing that is going to be true for everyone is you're going to be living in a community somewhere. And what you decide to do during your college time is going to be so transformative that it's going to determine how you engage with that community. And so if you really want to do a great job preparing, start doing some of that now. Engage in your community now.
All right, so I'm going to throw this next question back to Dr. McDonald. We've had this a couple times in the feed, so I want to go ahead and ask it. Princess is the last one who asked it. What made you want to teach psychology here at OCU, and why do you enjoy that?
Wow. Hi, Princess. I have had several young ladies throughout my tenure here. So I've been at OCU this is my 15th year. So I've been here a while. Why do I love teaching psychology? And this is what I will say. Your professors have fallen in love with a discipline. Through the eyes of a Christian worldview, for me specifically, I can see where the field of psychology is so incredibly applicable. So when I teach my classes, I very much focus on how can we take this information and apply it to our lives. And I really loved what the president said in terms of we want to be joyful for what makes Christ joyful. We want to be broken for what breaks Christ's heart. And that is such a dangerous prayer. So many years ago, I remember there was a song that we would sing in chapel, and it would say, "Break my heart for what breaks yours." And I just remember thinking, I don't know if we really understand the gravity of that statement. So when it comes to the field of psychology, we study social psych, so we look at things like racism and discrimination and how that comes into play. We look at in-groups and out-groups. We look at the history of psychology and how that's transformed. We look at how the brain works. We look at lifespan development. We look at sensation and perception, and I love our memory chapter. So one of the things you'll find with me is each chapter that we go through with general psych, I'll say, oh my goodness, this is my favorite chapter. I love this chapter. And my students kind of laugh at me and they're like, oh no, Dr. McDonald, she's going off again. But you have to understand that we're so excited and we're so passionate about our fields because we love them. We love them so much to dedicate 12 years of our life to be educated, to be able to bring that knowledge to you and say, look at how this applies to your life, and look how God created you, and then original sin and our sinful nature has come in and it's tainted who we are, and it even maybe changed our brains, and this is how we function. So as you can see, that question alone got me really excited. But this is the thing about OCU. We are very student focused. We love our students. I always say the thing about OCU that brings me back year after year after year is every fall I get 200 new kids. I get 200 new students that I know I'm going to impact. I know everyone on this stage is going to impact in some way. And that's what took me to the field of psychology. I just fell in love in my general psych class. And then every single chapter in a general psych book is an entire class that you get to take. So you'll have a class on social psychology. You'll have a diversity class within psychology. You will have a sensation and perception and cognition class. You will have a learning class on theories of learning and behavior modification. Just fantastic. And of course, many people who go into the field of counseling, the field of psychology, want to be counselors. So that was my other drive for psychology, was I just wanted to help people. I didn't know what that looked like. I had no idea that I would be a college professor at the time. I thought I would be a counselor for the rest of my life. God had other plans. So that's why I always say, if you think you've got your life planned out, God's kind of laughing, not in a not in a malicious way, but in a way like, oh, let me show you what I have in store for you. So that's what took me through the field of psychology. Actually, my PhD is in educational psychology.
All right, so this next question is about student life. Again, this one has to do with the residence hall. So what opportunities or events are there for students to get involved in while living in the residence hall?
So there are an abundance of opportunities. One of them is really just getting to live and learn from those students who are in your community, in your residence halls. We provide you with a RA, which is a huge resource really just to get acclimated to the university. We also have discipleship group leaders who are able to really just fellowship and get to know each and every one of you down to your core and just love you and value you from where you came from, your spiritual development. So, and super fun events. Really, it's just, we like to have events that are student-led and student-initiated. So this past semester, a lot of students wanted to have a trick-or-treat night, which sounds really childish, but they really wanted that, and so we provided that for them. So if we offer it, if we don't offer it, we are open to opinions, and we want to really be there for you guys.
All right, this question comes from Abby in the comments, and I know this is one that we get a lot. So what kind of internship and job placement opportunities does OCU offer?
Sure, so we are what's called a Handshake school. So Handshake is our career management service. And so if you come to OCU, you will have 100% access to this career management service. You can log in, and you will be directly connected to well over 3,200 employers around the nation and world. Many of those are faith-based, so there's nonprofits and churches, but we're also connected to names you would recognize like Nike and Disney. So there's really something for everyone. And through that, I can't name off different internships intentionally because there's just so many. But Disney is a great one to kind of point to. They have a phenomenal college program, and so if you're a business student, you want to get into finance, accounting, tourism, and hospitality, that program is a phenomenal program because the name Disney, it means something, and on a resume, that just goes so far. And they build so much into their program that's about learning and educating and your development. So that's a great program in and of itself, but we really can help find something that's for everyone. If you want to stay close to home, we can help find something. If you want to travel, we can find something. We also partner with an organization in Chicago called Chicago Semester, and our very first student, Brett Taylor, is right now doing her internship with them, which is really cool. Because of COVID, internships right now with Chicago Semester are all virtual, but most of the time, what would happen is you would travel either for a fall or a spring or even a summer internship program, and you would live there in Chicago, in downtown Chicago, with other college students from other Christian organizations. You would be paired with an internship site. They help set up interviews, so you go through the interview process with that site. And it's always based on the field you want to be in. And then you also take 2 classes with Chicago semester. And so there's all sorts of different tracks based on your major that you can choose from. So that's just a little bit. There really is so much. We really start from the get-go. When you come here as a freshman, you're going to hear things about start writing your resume, get it checked out, use all of your free time during the summer and winter to engage in internship or fellowship opportunities. We really have a heart to help prepare you, not just for your first destination in career, but for career mobility later. So that way, that first job isn't the end. We've helped to prepare you for the second, third, fourth, and wherever God's going to take you. We want to prepare you for His calling and where He's sending you.
I wanted to piggyback a little bit on Eric. Eric does a fantastic job with our career services here at OCU. From the academic side, there are internships built into your program. So, for example, in the psychology program, you have an internship that we have partnered with local organizations. So when you're a senior and you're in your last semester, or maybe you want to do this in the summer back home because you're connected to an organization there. So here we have connections with our local mental health facilities, and if that is something that you want to do, we also have students who have graduated who are still working locally who love to partner with our OCU students. We have currently a student that I'm still very connected to, very close with, who works on the local board of developmental disabilities, and would love to have OCU students there to work with him as well for our human services track. I know our business department, sports management, they also have local connections. So when you're actually here, and I won't even get into our teacher ed program, which is phenomenal. And they actually put you in local classrooms right away. So when we're looking at internships, we have the big ones that Eric talked about, which are incredible opportunities. If you're a student who that might be a little bit intimidated by that, or that's just not something you want to do, we do have local opportunities as well. And those are through our academic and departmental programs.
Awesome, thank you. This next question is going to go for spiritual formation. What outside ministry opportunities does OCU offer?
Yeah, well, you might have heard me say earlier that chapel is going to look a little differently than church. We really want to encourage our students to attend church in this community. That is going to be a great way to get plugged in, to serve the body of Christ, and to get connected. Every semester, we shut down classes for one day, and we go and we serve our community, and we serve our church communities in this area. So we have about 300 to 400 students and staff and faculty who are going all over the county to different places to love on this community and demonstrate that we care about them and do what we can to give back to them. Every year, we also send students on mission trips. We've sent students all over the world. We've sent them to Kenya, Uganda, Spain, Honduras, Peru, Cambodia, all over the place. And and that's such an incredible opportunity for our students to not only see the world, but participate in the work of God and the kingdom around the world.
Awesome, thank you. So this next question, what do you think is the biggest difference between high school and college, academically or non-academically, however you guys want to answer that question?
Goes to me first. I think that there are several. I think academically, I think it's the rigor and the pace that most students will find maybe even intimidating or overwhelming at first. Trust me, you'll get used to it. But in high school, you might take 3 weeks for one chapter. In college, you'll probably do a chapter in 3 or 4 days, if not maybe a week. But you're not going to lag on certain topics. So everything's going to be much, much faster. The other thing is there's not a whole lot of homework for college other than reading, writing your papers. If it's a math class, then you're going to do lots of homework because that's just the way math is. But I think that the high school model really presents this opportunity for lots of homework grades. That really changes in college. The other thing is time management. Time management becomes a significant issue just because of that wonderful first taste of freedom, which is fantastic. You guys are going to love that. But with great freedom is going to come great responsibility. So what that means is you're going to have to manage your time because the first few weeks you're going to be meeting new people and you're going to fall in love with people. And you're going to be like, this person is so cool, and they bring such a different perspective from what I'm used to, and you're going to spend time with them, and you're going to be immersed in a culture, a living culture. So on your floor, you're going to have maybe, 20 other girls or 20 other guys that you're interacting with, and then all of a sudden, it's 3 a.m. And you're like, oh man, I've got an 8 a.m. class. And then you go into your room from the lobby, and your roommate's, maybe playing a video game. So you start to watch it. Next thing you know, it's 5 a.m. Then you're like, okay, do I go to bed or not? You need to sleep. So make sure you sleep. And I'm looking around up here at the panel, and they're kind of laughing because we see it. So that transition of freedom is significant. You will adjust, but rely on our academic services and say, I need an academic coach, which is one thing I didn't mention. We have academic coaches. This is free for you guys. All these services that we're talking about, those are free for you. So go to them and say, hey, can you help me with my schedule? How can I manage time? And that's going to take a little bit of discipline. The other thing is mom and dad aren't there to say, go to bed. Or I know in my home, I have 3 children, and I cook. Mom is the one who puts dinner on the table. So all of a sudden, you can have 4 bowls of cereal for dinner if that's what you want. That's not healthy. But this is what we see. So all of this, even nutritional transition. We have a course here that's called Health and Wellness that we try to teach healthy habits with exercise and diet. So all of this is significant transition, and all of this matters.
All right, awesome. This next question is for athletics. This is going to go to Coach Coons. So from a coach's perspective, what words of wisdom would you offer concerning time management for student athletes?
Well, Dr. McDonald just hit on some really good ones right there. We certainly discourage staying awake till 5 a.m. But that is part of it, is you have so much more freedom. But I think the biggest thing is getting familiar with your resources. I know as a student athlete, a lot of your time is structured. So that is a little bit different as well. As coaching staffs, we'll tell you when the lift is and when practice is, when that next workout is, when study tables are. So a lot of that is structured for you. But then the spare time that you do have, you have to start to find successful habits. A lot of advice we try to give to our incoming students is talk to upperclassmen. Talk to your teammates that have been through that phase, that have learned what has worked for them, and then get familiar with the resources that are available, like the Academic Enrichment Center, the Bridge, and try to find what works best for you. People study in different ways. Some people study well in groups. Other people study with their headphones in the back corner of the library where there's nobody around. But find ways to familiarize yourself with different study habits academically, and then socially, just being able to get involved in different things. Find out what really works well for you. And sleep is a big one. For student athletes especially, we always talk about a lot of people, some of our guys like to take 2-hour naps. So then we get into, well, hey, what should a good nap look like? How many hours of sleep should you be getting? How should you start trying to structure a little bit of your free time so that you're in the best position possible to succeed in the classroom and to succeed athletically? So it's really about familiarizing yourself with what's available, find out what works well for you, and speaking to people that have been through that and have some experience on that.
Awesome. This next question is from Ashley in the comments here. And this might be more for Dr. McDonald and even Lauren as a former student. But are the classes discussion-based or lecture-based, or a mix of both, or how does that work?
That is an awesome question. What you'll find is different professors enjoy different pedagogies, and that's the way of teaching. My classes are very much discussion-based, and you're going to be confronted with differing opinions because everyone comes from their own perspective. So one of the things that I say is every person you meet is bringing their past as well as their expectations of the present as well as the future into every conversation that they have with you, every encounter that they have with you. So when we do open discussion, one of the things that I say is make sure you listen as much as you want to speak. So many times we hear opinions within a classroom or debates within a classroom where they didn't listen to what was previous said. They were just mentally rehearsing what they wanted to say. So, I really talk about active listening within a classroom and respect and the dignity that each person carries as a creation of God. So, and then you do have to lecture. So for my lectures, there was a trend in higher education a while ago that was very big into the hybrid model. So for me, all of my lectures are recorded. You can watch them at any time and take notes on them at any time. This is what I always say to my incoming freshmen. This is up to you to watch these. Mom and dad aren't around. I'm not around to say this is what you have to do, but that provides you with the foundational material to when you come into class and we do start to engage in a discussion. It's going to become very apparent if you didn't watch the lecture or read the material that was assigned. So that does go hand in hand. A new class that we're offering in the fall that I get to teach is called Sociology of Film. So I also teach sociology here. That will be a very heavily discussion-based class. So it depends on the class. It depends on the professor. What you'll find, too, is that professors aren't teachers. That's another issue with the transition. Professors are content experts who, again, like I said previously, have fallen in love with the field, a deep love, because we've devoted our life to the study of that discipline. That doesn't mean that we have all this background in pedagogy of teaching. So, and we don't have to teach to a test. That is huge. So we no longer have this state-mandated testing that you're used to in high school because of the various different forms of legislature. Each professor can teach the content area. Now, that doesn't mean that we can just go in and talk about our families all day or whatever we want to all day. There are objectives that are set forth by our department that's mandated by like for us, we have the APA, the American Psychological Association, that hands down what we should teach. So I think that's a significant thing. Lauren Ray, who is sitting right here, she actually comes from a perspective of a student, so I do want to hand that over to her.
So like Dr. McDonald said, each professor is different. The one constant is that you need to read your textbooks. So I'll say that again. You need to read your textbooks. Make sure you purchase them. Do not share with a friend, because then midterms or finals comes around and you're fighting over a textbook. So take good notes during class, really listen, and then outside of class, you have to read your textbooks. And if you need to know how to take notes or what should I highlight, do I write down every word that a professor says? That's when you go to the bridge, or as a student athlete, you go to an upperclassman and ask them, what was best for you? Do you have any tips? So there are resources, but again, read your textbooks.
Awesome, thank you. So this next question is from Princess in the comments. So what does an international's life look like here on OCU's campus?
I think that for international students, it's going to look very similar to the rest of our students. I think it will also depend on where you're coming from. If English isn't your first language, then you may have some challenges. But we have such an awesome community. I can't state enough just how amazing our community is. We have some people who really want to come alongside all of our students to help with whatever challenges and trials that they might face. And For an international student, there's definitely going to be culture shock. I mean, things are not going to be the same here as they are in your home country. I'm originally from Canada, and Canada has so many similarities to America, but there are also so many differences. So just speaking from my experience transitioning into the United States, you just have to be open and willing to ask questions. It can be scary, but we have people here who want to come alongside you and who want to learn from you. Where you're coming from is super awesome. God created it, and it has so many things that are so unique, to where you're from, and you have uniqueness, and we really benefit from learning from you, and that's, I think, something that enriches everyone through the process. So I think for international students, be open to asking questions. You're going to meet so many people who they want to be your friend, they want to learn, and they want to engage, and they want to invite you in to learn from them as well. So I hope that answers the question well enough.
All right, so the next question is from Elizabeth in the comments as well. She said, she asked, what does the first week of classes or the first week of student life look like here on campus?
All right, there we go. So you're going to move in. That's the very first thing that happens. You move into campus, you meet your roommate, you meet your hallmates. Lauren can tell you all about what the craziness of the hall looks like, during move-in and that, the first couple days. But classes don't start immediately. There's a couple days before classes start when you come in as a freshman. So what we do is we fill, all the time with as much as we can. There's going to be some orientation pieces where, we're going to introduce you to the student handbook. Hopefully you've read it. That's something you can do to prepare for college, is read the student handbook. It's available, and if you can't find it, we can help with that. But we're, the very first night that you move in, we're going to gather all of our freshmen into actually the room we're sitting in, and we're going to host a big game night. And if you watch any kind of game shows, you're going to see pieces from this one, pieces from that one, and it's all going to be crammed together into one awesome, crazy, funny, exciting experience that will have, a lot of different giveaways, but opportunities to gather together to laugh and bond and be part of a community. So our first week is just filled with all sorts of activities that are aimed at creating a community environment. We want this to be an environment where you find someone that will love you for you, and you can find other people that you can love for them. People that can be your support networks, that will be through there with thick and thin. When you're struggling with that assignment, someone who's empathizing because they're also struggling with that assignment, or maybe they found success and they can help you with that. Or for that person who maybe you had a loss of a family member and there's that one person on your hall that you've become really close with, you can go to them any time of the day, right? So our focus is building that community that very, very first week. So it's super high energy, it's super exciting, it's exhausting. We end the week with a big movie on the lawn where you can just spread out and relax and take a breather, because it's just, you're going to be exhausted.
From a res life perspective, when you first come in, your very first week, the night of move-in, it's very kind of awkward, but embrace the awkward. Get to know your roommate, get to know your RA. One thing that I would say is that if you meet kind of that first group of people, just really branch out. It's okay to have that group of friends, but really just get to know other people. So just like branch out in class, in the cafeteria. If you see somebody sitting by themselves or you're sitting by yourself, again, embrace the awkward. Go up and meet new people. So that's just from the point of res life.
And I'll add, just like Dave said, the whole goal is to orient you to your new life here. And part of that's the spiritual aspect. So there's, we do a lakeside, there's a small lake here in Circleville, and we take you out there and we do lakeside devos and donuts, and we have a worship experience one night. And chapel, the first chapel is the first week of class, and so that's a whole nother part of getting familiar with life here at OCU.
So from an academic perspective, your first day is usually what they call syllabus day. Google the memes, they're pretty entertaining. For me, there's no such thing as just syllabus day. So in my class, we kick right into the newness of higher education as well as the experience of higher education. And like the president said, a higher education is the great discussion. So as we lead into that first week of class, most classes are going to give you the syllabus. The syllabus is actually like the blueprint of the class, and and I do this too, we go through it. The other thing is just making that connection with your face and your name, because we have rosters, and that's the start of the relationship that'll last 4 years from that point forward. So that's what the first week of classes look like in terms of being prepared. You won't have any class your freshman year that says make sure you get this reading done before you come in. That's not what the first day and the first week's about. It's more like getting acclimated to each other. And the second week of class, when you come in, that's when all of the classes get into the introduction of the discipline.
All right, I think that's a great place to stop right there. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have more questions, there I am. If you guys have more questions that have not been answered yet, continue to comment those in there, and we'll get those answered as soon as we can. Right now, real quick, before we move on to the next thing, I want to give out 2 more prizes. You guys ask a lot of really good questions. Thank you so much for interacting. So Blake, I don't want to try to pronounce your last name and embarrass myself, but Battogtok. You won a prize, congratulations. And then Elizabeth Bush, congratulations again. The next thing we have going right now is going to be our virtual campus tour. You're going to see a video kind of showing you what the campus looks like, what the dorms look like, and the different buildings. So just stay tuned for that. Hey guys, I'm Tim.
And I'm Megan.
And we are admissions counselors here at Ohio Christian University.
And we're going to be taking you around showing what life is like here on our campus.
So right now, we are actually in our Ministry and Performing Arts Center. This building was completed in 2017. We have our auditorium here where we have chapel twice a week. We have FNL, which is Friday Night Live. We host that. We've had concerts here as well. It's a really good open area for us to do a lot of different events. We also have our 2 departments here. We have our music department that is housed here in this building, and we also have our ministry department. So we have classrooms for both of those departments here. We have a recital room for the music area, and that's kind of what is housed inside this building.
Yeah, one of my favorite things as a student is that whenever we have chapel, we're all able to come together as one body, worship the Lord and hear a great sermon and just grow in our faith all together.
We are in York Hall right now. This is one of our male dorms. We have about 450 students who live on campus. And when you come in as a freshman, no matter where you're placed, we have a trained resident staff who is always there to help you from the transition from high school to college, from living at home to living in a dorm. Whatever questions you may have, they're always available to help you with that. Some more perks that we have about living on campus is our free laundry. We have campus-wide Wi-Fi, and we really want you guys to make yourself at home, whether that be bringing in your game system in the dorm, bringing in a TV, a refrigerator, whatever that is. We want you guys to really feel at home.
Right now we're in Moore Hall, which if you're a freshman girl, this is where you're going to call home. We have a bed, a desk, and a dresser provided for you in your room, and we encourage you to personalize it to you. Make it home, have pictures of family, have lights, have rugs, whatever you need to make yourself comfortable here on our campus.
So right now we are in our Maxwell Center, which is really 3 different buildings that combine to create the hub of our campus. In our Maxwell Center, we have our athletic offices, our workout area, as well as our gymnasium. This is where you're going to come to cheer on our Trailblazers and show your school spirit.
Here in our Hickman Student Center, we have our cafeteria and our Blaze Cafe, where you can get specialty coffee drinks or snacks on your way to class. And then we also have the Connection Bookstore, where you can get anything from clothes to books. And then if you come upstairs, we have our security office, our student development office, and the hub, which is our game room here on campus. We have a bunch of different gaming systems, all connected to different plasma screens, and we have a full shelf of board games, card games, and different things that you can be a part of and come together and spend some more time with your friends here on our campus. The Executive Center is where our main classrooms are located on our campus. We have a student to faculty ratio of 11:1, and all of our professors have experience in the field that they're teaching. So it's really great for you because they're able to connect you with people outside of our campus to get internships and jobs, whether you're in college or even after you graduate. They care about you not only in the classroom, but even after you graduate.
One of the cool things about our campus is how many places there are to find community, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in the dorms, the cafeteria, or even right here in our quad.
Here in the quad, we have a bunch of different opportunities, everything from outdoor movies to cookouts to sand volleyball, inflatables, and so much more. Our Student Involvement Council always has something going on that you can be a part of here. We are in the Robert W. Plaster Free Enterprise Center, which holds our OCU Business Innovation Center. Not only do our students benefit from our cutting-edge business technology, but we also provide co-working spaces, mentorships, and so much more to small business leaders in our community.
Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. We've had a great time being your tour guides. We hope that you know you have a place at Ohio Christian University. Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you so much for being back here. Thank you so much for all the questions you guys have been doing, the comments. We have a couple more giveaways that we're going to be giving you guys. Terrell and Abby are going to be coming up and giving away our big prize, which is our hoodie, here in just a second. But before they do that, I want to read off a couple more names. You guys are winning the little boxes that we're giving away here. So Tassa Jones, congratulations. Maggie578, congratulations. And then Kat Ferguson, congratulations. We're so happy that you guys are here. We're so happy to give you guys all this free stuff because this really means a lot that you guys have spent your time here with us. And I want to remind you right now, if you haven't checked in, if you've been watching this video and you haven't checked in to get your free t-shirt, the way you do that is just to comment your name. So if you go ahead and comment your name right now, that guarantees you a free t-shirt. We have people monitoring that. But right now I'm going to give it over to Abby and Terrell to go ahead and give away this last prize that we have today.
Hi, everybody. So like Tim said, we're here to give away the big prize, which is the hoodie. Abby's going to show you guys the hoodie. It's a really nice hoodie, and the winner for that is Ashley Gannon. You guys can't see that. It's Ashley Gannon. So hopefully, hopefully you're still here and you can see that. But also, if you're still here, you've been watching it, and you haven't checked in, don't forget to just type your full name in the comments, and that's how we will check off that you've been here. Thanks for coming.
All right, thank you guys, and congratulations, Ashley. So thank you guys again so much for being here today. If you have any more questions at all, this video is going to be up. We're going to keep it up on YouTube so you can check it out again after it's already over. And then you can go to ohiochristian.edu and check out our website there. If you haven't applied and you want to apply, you can do it for free online. All of our information, all of the admissions counselors' information is on the website as well. So make sure you check that out. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you have a good day.